Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley is increasingly being viewed as the most viable candidate in the Republican primary to take on former President Trump. This week, former Texas Congressman Will Hurd dropped out of the Republican presidential primary and endorsed Haley. Haley also saw support from conservative commentator George Will, who called on South Carolina Senator Tim Scott to drop out of the Republican primary and back Haley. Republicans also note that Haley has steadily increased her standing in the polls at the national and state level. A Fox News survey released earlier this week showed Haley at 10%, which was a 5-point increase from the last time the poll was conducted. She was in third place in that poll behind Ron DeSantis, who stood at 13%. However, former President Trump still dominated the field with 59% support from Republican primary voters. Haley supporters point to her time as a state senator and governor of South Carolina, as well as her foreign policy experience garnered when she was U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. They say that this experience has been on full display during the first two Republican presidential primary debates.
When you look at the situation with Russia and Ukraine, here you have a pro-American country that was invaded by a thug. So when you want to talk about what has been given to Ukraine, less than 3.5% of our defense budget has been given to Ukraine. If you look at the percentages per GDP, 11 of the European countries have given more than the U.S.
And even former President Trump has seemingly taken note of Haley's steady increase in the polls. After the second Republican presidential debate in California, the former president referred to his former ambassador as a quote-unquote bird brain on his social media platform, Truth Social. Later that same week, his campaign sent a bird cage to Haley's hotel. Haley supporters say that Trump's criticism of her is a sign that he increasingly views her as a threat.
I mean, we're excited. I think that the support has been building. We can feel it on the ground. The rooms are getting bigger. More people want to caucus.